You're welcome to this channel. This is Destin Global Content Limited, a real estate company registered here in Nigeria. I will bring you the best of real estate and investment opportunity. My name is Destin of Yahweh, a real estate entrepreneur as well as a real estate consultant here in Nigeria. Today on this episode, we'll be bringing you a very, very important topic, and that is multiple source of income or multiple streams of income, as you may want to call it. It is important to know that there's one thing that is peculiar amongst rich people or wealthy people, as you know it, and that is the fact that they have multiple source of income. They have businesses, they have investments, they have things that brings them money, not just in one place. Every rich man you know that have stayed for a while, that have been worthy over a period of time, there are people who earn from different sources, different streams, and that is why it is important to have more than one source of income. You see, we see people today who work so hard in different businesses thinking they're hardworking, and because they're hardworking, they should be rich or worthy. But the reverse is the case. This is because multiple struggle is different from multiple sources of income. Now, this is the truth. You can be working 6 in the morning to 6 in the evening. And when you get home, you stay 1 hour, and by 8, you're up, you're going for a night shift. And when you close from night shift, you come home before 2, 3 hours of rest, you are back again to work. And you feel I'm working very hard. Like people say, especially those that lives in the diaspora. Most of them, most of times they are always engaged, they are doing one work or the other. You see, they are trying to meet up with time schedules and all that, and most of the time they even barely have time for themselves. This is not multiple source of income, this is multiple struggle. But you see, there's something that is important that we have to notice in this place. You see, there's what we call active income and there's what we call passive income. What is active income? Active income is what you do that gives you money. It is your work and your pay, like laborers, like doctors, like lawyers, professional jobs, like others. They work and they are being paid, maybe monthly, maybe hour, maybe in terms of hours. This is what we call the active kind of income. But you see, you cannot leverage or build wealth or become worthy through active kind of income, no matter what you earn, if you do not create other sources of income. When people say seas, the sea never run dry, what they are saying is that the sea has so many sources that supply its water, and that is why you see it doesn't go dry. There are a lot of rivers that begins to supply. So it is easy for a river to go dry, but a sea can never be dry because many sources supply that body of sea water. Like I said in the last episode, when I gave an example about the Garden of Eden, how God has to create river, river Euphrates, Gishon, and Pishon, just so that it can supply the Garden of Eden for it to balance. That is what multiple sources of income do for you, and that is the truth. So I like you to understand that as you are actively working today, that you still have strength, you have the energy. What are you doing to secure or protect your future or to build transgenerational wealth? For me, I believe it is an error to work 60 years of your life, and at 60, you are still working. If you don't go to work, you can't eat. If you don't go to work, you can't buy what you are supposed to buy. You can't meet your needs. Something is wrong. It is because you did not plan for the days when you will be weak or when you'll be old. How about maybe natural occasion where you are not sick? So what happens when you are sick for 1 month or when you are not healthy? Okay, let's also take for example when you don't have the strength you have today to do all the things you are doing now. What now happen? So there's a need for you to have multiple source or multiple streams of income. Yes. So it is not a choice, it is something that is necessary. I like to also say this at this point that everything cannot go bad at the same time. You must understand that when you have multiple sources of income, it serves as a leverage. It helps you in the days where one doesn't work, the other one should be working. Everything cannot go bad all at once. So you see, it's it edge against inflation, it edge against unforeseen circumstances that could happen. Businesses folds up We've seen people lost their jobs. But when you have multiple sources of income, it helps you to protect against these days that you least expected or you are not even prepared for. Now, you must pay attention to this also. If you need to be there before you can earn, this is not multiple source of income. It is not smart work. It is only hard work. We've seen people that work from Monday to Saturday, and even on Sundays, they still work. This is hard work. We've seen parents, we see families that are hard working, but at the later days of their life, there's nothing to show because there were no multiple streams of income. There's a difference between trade and business. Trade is what you do daily to earn a living or to earn money. You go to the market, you trade, you sell, people come to buy another. That is trade, but it is different from having a business. You can have 5 businesses, you can have 6 businesses. This is how to live a comfortable life. This is how to buy the kind of life you want to live by having businesses that function even in your absence. Structures are built that ensure their continuity. Sometimes you might even travel for a month. Those businesses still running and they're still bringing money for you. So you see, multiple sources of income becomes a need. It becomes important. It becomes more than paramount for you to have a balanced life, especially in those days where you may not have to work. This is what happens as you work every day. Keep a percentage of your money, because I'm not among the school of thought. I don't believe that you should kill the work you are working, or you should leave your job. People say, okay, you are not supposed to have a job. No, the mistake we do is that when you have a job, maybe as a doctor or as a lawyer, as you earn from that job, keep a percentage of the money, save the money. Then when the money is big enough, you can invest. Where can you invest in? You can invest in property, you can invest in renters properties, you can invest in landed property that can earn you money as time begins to progress. So that is how it is. What is savings? Savings is keeping money for a specific purpose, why investment is sending that money on an assignment to bring more money for you. So if you don't have a job, so how can you even save in the first place? So while you are still working in that job, what you are doing at the moment, pay attention to saving a percentage of that money, especially for those of you who don't live in Nigeria, who live in the diaspora. As you are still working today, you are still very active in the work you're doing. Save a percentage of that money that you can use to invest. So as time goes on, that investment now begins to produce money for you. And when you're investing in other things, you should also pay attention to. There are different kinds of investment. The investment you do once and begins to generate money for you over and over and over again. And there is kind of investment you also do that does not produce for you monthly or weekly, but in the long run, it brings back money for you in a very large quantity, maybe in 500%, 600%. Example of kind of investment are land banking. When you are banking on land, you are not getting the money maybe monthly or weekly, but over time, there's an appreciation in that landed property. Or, for example, you are building a house, or you are building a complex, maybe a shop or stores and all that. That gives you money over and over again after you've done it for one time. So all these you must pay attention to in order for you to be able to live the kind of life that you want to live. Don't forget, this is Destiny of Yahweh, your real estate entrepreneur as well as a real estate consultant here in Nigeria. Till we meet again in this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so that you can always get our content anytime we drop it here. God bless you.